Quarantine is not the time to write the next great American novel if you're not up to it, okay? I've seen a lot of tweets going around kind of trying to inspire people to really produce content, but I really encourage you, if you're distressed, it's okay to take your mind off things and just do a hobby. I played a computer game this week for 10 hours and it was amazing because I just forgot about Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and I run the blog called Mrs. Midwest. Today we are going to be unlocking the 7 ways I thrive at home tips from a housewife. And the reason I wanted to make this video is of course because of the global crisis we are currently experiencing. I have received so many messages, firsthand accounts from many of you who have been directly impacted by this crisis, and I just want to extend my deepest sympathies to anyone experiencing high levels of distress or loss during this time. I know that it is so difficult and I am not an expert on any of this stuff, but I do want to extend my love to you all to let you know that I'm praying for you and doing my part, practicing social distancing. And during these times, I want you to know that I'm not trying to be insensitive by putting out content. Rather, I'm hoping to inspire or entertain you guys as we are all practicing social distancing and showing compassion for those who are vulnerable in our population. So that is why I wanted to make this timely video of how I thrive at home, because having been a frugal housewife for over 2 years and just the nature of living in more the isolated countryside, I have become somewhat of a veteran of thriving at home, thriving from my living room. But it was not all smooth sailing from the very beginning, because when I first became a housewife, a homemaker, early January 2018, I had to learn the hard way that staying in your bed, staying in your sweats, and spending too much time scrolling on Instagram was not the recipe to feeling like a thriving individual from home. I had to create structures, I had to learn about my needs, and I had to create accountability with myself in order to make the most out of my life from home. And now I can tell you that I have never been happier. I totally thrive from home. Again, I don't think this is going to solve anyone's problems, but I do hope this could at least be helpful, inspiring, or entertaining. So with all that being said, let's dive into the first need all humans have, no matter how introverted, and that is social connection. Now, it's no secret that in the 21st century, we do not have a homemaker present in every single home in our neighborhoods. And because of that, I have had to get quite creative for my social interaction throughout my days if I don't want to just bombard my husband, the one person I live with. I do make sure every day to connect with my husband, tell him about my day, even if it is just the accomplishment of removing the couch cushions and vacuuming it all out. I tell him what I want to talk about, no matter how big, no matter how small, and we make sure to connect every day. We make sure to laugh, we make sure to physically connect, but we also make sure to keep our distance as well. You cannot hang out with someone 24/7, no matter how in love you are. It's really important to get your distance. One thing we will often do is share time in the same room while doing different activities on our laptops. I will blog, he will do his day trading, and we enjoy the fire together, but we're not constantly talking. So learn how to keep your boundaries with the person you're at home with while also connecting with them. You don't want to get to a place where you're so aggravated by each other that you lash out. It's really important to preserve the relationships you have physically around you, because those are going to make your life at home amazing or horrible. So really preserve those relationships, show that you still care, and try to have fun. But on top of that, I have learned as someone, again, living in the countryside, and when I first moved here, a lot of my friends lived a few hours away, so I did kind of have no one to hang out with. And what I learned is that you can really fill a lot of your social connection through online connections. Now, of course, you can Skype people you can FaceTime people, you can join a WhatsApp group with your friends, but there's also other ways to connect with people, as I have done with other housewives on Instagram, other homemakers, artisans, people I have followed on Instagram. We have connected, become friends, and now I don't even think it would be weird to FaceTime them. I have friends all over the world, and they truly make my day so much brighter. But the third way I kind of wanted to suggest for social connection is to, follow influencers, follow vloggers and bloggers that really uplift your day and watch their life. And it's weird, it's kind of like technically a parasitical relationship where it's completely one one-sided, but I get so much joy out of following a couple influencers who have no idea who I am, and I just watch their life, and it really kind of fills my soul to see other people living their life, to feel somewhat involved. And I know that's kind of strange, but it does help a lot. Same with listening to podcasts at home, keeping the television on in the background, just having human voices around you. I don't want that to come off as really sad, but I have noticed that that really blesses me a lot. Now, let's move into the second key component for thriving at home, and that is by infusing beauty into your life. Now, this of course means getting dressed every day, but not just in sweats. It means an outfit. It means doing your hair, doing your face up, your makeup if you wear makeup, and just looking and feeling fresh with your body. It's really important to maintain a personal hygiene. If you want to thrive at home, you're gonna, get dressed up to go to the living room. It might sound silly, but that is the housewife way of life. So you thrive in your body. That's the number one way. But the second kind of area infusing beauty is about your home, your environment. Keep it clean. Do not let dishes stack up. Don't let it feel dirty. Really clean your house. It's important to disinfect too during this time, but just make sure that things are organized. We don't have to stay inside just because we're social distancing. You can also go out into nature. That is a huge way I infuse beauty in my life. I go on very long walks to beautiful areas, forests, quaint little streets, and I always like to walk by the water if at all possible. I play with my dog, and I watch beautiful videos online, calming vlogs, videos of nature, videos around the world, and just again infuse that beauty. Step away from the despair, the gloom, because your mental health is really important when you're staying at home, and infusing beauty will definitely bring your spirits up. All right, the third area kind of goes along with beauty, but it's all about merriment. Adding merriment to your time at home is key because it's going to make or break, how you felt about your day. And the more you have that merry spirit, that joyful kind of attitude, the better your day is going to be. So the way I do this is by infusing comedy podcasts, memes, funny videos into my life, but also just by being silly, dancing with a vacuum cleaner, blasting my favorite music, and just making things fun, playing games with my husband, just including that extra level of childlike play. And you can find some more examples of how to do this in my video on vibrancy. But the more we focus on having that merry, lighthearted spirit, the more we're going to enjoy our time at home. So add some comedy, add some joy, and don't forget to really make the small things special. And what I mean by this is making the little routines you have extra special and meaningful. Instead of just slapping down dinner on the table and a spaghetti and a couple of bowls and just calling it a day, set out some placemats, light a candle, play some jazz in the background, and make it more special. It's really important to enjoy those little moments and just shrink down your life, because instead of having the world as your playground, when you're at home, your home is your playground, but you can still make it special and vibrant and thriving. So what I do is, the placemats make things beautiful. When I have coffee, I put it in a nice little teacup. When I take a shower, I light some candles. I just make those little everyday activities and habits extra special. Let's move to the fourth area, which is productivity. I put this one smack in the middle because I think this is the most important thing you can do to feel like you're thriving at home. Now, a lot of us are working from home right now. I am no stranger to working from home, as I have grown this blog and YouTube channel from home, but I also think it's really important, like I said in the beauty area, to be productive around the house. Keep things clean. Be productive with your organizing, your cleanliness, your bodily cleanliness, and just produce. Humans, we need to be active, we need to produce, and even though it sounds like a dream to just lay on a couch as a housewife and eat bonbons, I can tell you that that is not the way to a thriving life. The way that I have found is by producing, working with my hands, producing content for all of you, writing on my blog, serving my husband, making food, cooking, baking, cleaning. That's the stuff that really makes me feel like I had a job well done during the day. So I really encourage you to be productive. You can do this in fun ways with hobbies, things that you really enjoy. You can do it in practical ways like raking your leaves, landscaping, cooking. You can also combine the fun and the practical by infusing them together. Fold your laundry, but watch a Netflix show while you do it, or put on a podcast. Make dinner, but make it something that you really want to eat, or sip a glass of wine while you cook dinner. There's ways to infuse practicality with fun in order to be more productive. But remember to rest as well. Quarantine is not the time to write the next great American novel if you're not up to it, okay? I've seen a lot of tweets going around kind of trying to inspire people to really produce content, but I really encourage you, if you're distressed, it's okay to take your mind off things and just do a hobby. I played a computer game this week for 10 hours and it was amazing because I just forgot about everything going on, and I can't express to you how relieving that was. So have compassion for yourself, be productive, but remember that productivity could mean beating the next level at your video game, and who's gonna know about it? You're at home anyways. All right, the fifth area is all about spiritual food. For anyone staying at home, it's very important to be in touch with your spirit. And as a Christian, this of course for me means reading scripture, praying, and of course as we go through dark times in this world, it's more important than ever to plug into scripture because it will really bring you so much peace during these times, to remember that God is in control. He sees you, He loves you, He knows the number of hairs on your head, He knows your future, He has you in the palm of His hands. Reminding myself of that and, praying and continuing to repent in my life and work on spiritual growth, it really helps me at home feel like I'm moving forward. Part of the issue of staying home is you kind of feel stuck in a box, like stuck in time, like time has stopped, your life has stopped, everything has stopped. But I promise you that you can move forward, you can grow as a person, even from the comfort of your own home. And the way I've been able to do that as a housewife is by spiritual growth primarily, and really sorting through the problems in my life, sorting through my own sins, and really figuring out how to be more scripturally based in my life, and just learning more about the nature and character of God, which is unchanging. If you have any interest in Christianity, now might be a good time to plug into the Psalms, plug into the gospel, learn all about it. We have so much extra time right now, and I really encourage you to take your spiritual growth very seriously as you stay at home, because it's very easy to get lost in that goopy vortex of just your brain and your soul just are turning to mush. So make sure you feed your soul while you're at home. All right, my sixth area, this will come as no surprise, but it is to burn the energy. As a homemaker, as a housewife, I'm not particularly into workouts, but I am into burning the energy. That is even why I stand up when I record these videos, because I don't need any more hours of my day of me sitting on my rear end. So honestly, you could burn energy through workouts, but you can also just burn it through doing your chores, doing your daily activities, standing up, walking around, and getting active. And that's very important if you're based from home, because you're not having that extra movement in the day. If you want to feel energized, you got to burn the energy. I know it's kind of strange, but I have figured out that really makes or breaks my mental and emotional health when I'm staying at home. I have to stay somewhat active. But, for me, this doesn't mean jump lunges. It just means squatting down and digging through a cupboard, or playing with my dog, or walking around the house, folding laundry, going on walks. There's low impact ways in order to burn the energy at home. All right, my seventh and final way to thrive at home is to learn. I said that weird, but it's to learn. It's to expand your mind and learn about things. This might not be as pertaining for a lot of people still bogged down in a ton of work, but I know for many of us, our work lives have slowed down during this time, and we're gonna discover that there's a lot less mental stimulation. And that's what I figured out when I first became a housewife. I realized that I went from having a job or being in college or being a student to not having a lot of mental stimulation. And the way I combated that was by creating my own little world of learning about subjects I cared about. So I learned about, beauty and style and dressing for your body type and the color wheel for your skin. And I learned about history and politics and current events. I just spend so much time reading the news. I spend so much time learning, and it has helped me so much to keep up that mental stimulation. This could be practical learning as you go, even just learning how how to do your makeup better while you're at home. That will stimulate your mind. Learning how to cook a new recipe or learning about an event in history through a podcast. Whatever you do, it's just very important to continue extending your education. Every day I try to learn in an area that I'm unfamiliar with, but also something I'm very interested in. So for example, something I'm very interested in would be learning new cleaning techniques, cleaning hacks, cleaning for my house. I'm interested in that. It affects me, I want to know. But something, maybe I'm not as interested in would be 16th century history or something medical or science-based. But I always take time to read articles, to read books, to listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos, whatever, and just learn about the world. A really effective way to do this is to just watch day in my life videos from people in different cultures around the world, doing different jobs, watch a variety of content, get a variety of perspectives. So learning, what I really mean, is stimulating your mind. Some of us are going to learn and stimulate our minds best through working with our hands or listening to something or watching something. Whatever it is, try to make sure that your brain isn't just turning to goo as you just sit down and be entertained for days on end. I have done that, and it is not good. Part of the reason I started my blog and started this learning process for myself was just because I had felt like I had conquered my house. I had conquered the kitchen. I had conquered so much, and I wanted to conquer something new. So, this might not be for everybody, but if you're feeling a little squirrely, restless, like your brain is turning to mush from the 3rd season of whatever show you just binged, try switching gears and learn something, and you will come alive again. So really continue your education, even if you're not a student. Continue learning, and to all the students who are currently doing online classes, I send my condolences to you because that is stressful. But again, just remember, it's a beautiful thing that you are able to learn. We never want our minds to turn to mush. We never want to remain in a place of ignorance about the world. It's so important to learn, and it's also very stimulating and very fun. So those are all of my tips for you today. I know that these might not be helpful to every single person, but I hope you can feel inspired to take back your life at home and to remember that there are ways to improve it, even as we are going through such distressing circumstances. I truly want to extend all my compassion to anyone who is suffering during this time. I think everyone is at a heightened state of stress right now, and it's very important to show compassion to our neighbors, to reach out to people online, to connect with people, and to remember we all have needs. We all are humans, and we're not meant to be caged. So really be gentle with your loved ones at home. Try to maintain those relationships. Pour into your spiritual life, pour into your mind, be productive, burn the energy, and infuse that beauty. And it might help. I'm not saying it will, but I do want to offer some hope to you all. And again, being a housewife is not the same as being quarantined, but I have kind of figured out a way to thrive from home. So hopefully this was helpful to you. Lastly, I would love if you guys could leave some encouraging comments below to one another. If you could give some examples of how you've been passing the time. If you could maybe share your experience, really take time to support one another. Use the hashtag feminine women on Instagram to find each other. But in general, I just want you all to know that I am thinking of you. I'm sending you my love, and I am going to be continuing to put up my regular content to hopefully inspire you all. So thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, please click the like button. It does help other people find my videos. If you're interested in more of this kind of content, I have lots of homemaking videos. I have lots of traditionalism. You could binge watch my vlogs. I'm not gonna stop you. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, but in total, I hope you have a wonderfully blessed and peaceful week, my beautiful sisters.